Hello gamers, it's time once again for the episode of This Week in Gaming by eXputer. Well, this week was certainly jammed-packed with news with updates regarding Call of Duty Warzone, Diablo Immortal, Fable 4 and much more. Our team is dedicated to get you covered up with all the latest updates, so grab a cup of tea and let's dive in. You can now pre-purchase Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 now on Steam. Previously, it was reported by our team that the game would be available for Steam. The Call of Duty franchise is ready to make a comeback on Steam with its newly released trailer and the availability of pre-purchases. The last game to release on Steam was Call of Duty World War II back in 2017, and then the franchise parted ways. However, it seems now it may be changing and fans are thrilled and excited to get Call of Duty on Steam again. With the newly released teaser, We Are Not the Same, 11-Bit Studios announced a new game set to be revealed on 12th June. The only other detail given by the developers is the quote by Alexis Carrel that states, quote, "Man cannot make himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor." Players speculate that this might be the final addition to the Anomaly franchise's trilogy. If this is true, it will mark the end of the jaw-dropping trilogy after a decade. In another news, the rising popularity of MCU has brought Marvel fans a new treat. With many developers working on Marvel games, 2K decided to join in the bandwagon as well by giving us Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is to be released in the second half of this year. An industry insider, Tom Henderson, took it to Twitter to inform the MCU fans about the game getting released, presumably on October 6th. The game will have 3 versions: Standard, Enhanced, and Legendary. The original tweet showing us the visuals of 3 versions was taken down by a copyright strike from 2K, but thanks to a repost, we managed to peek a look at the upcoming game. Marvel's Midnight Suns looks promising, as we will get premium skins like Captain America, Wolverine, and Captain Marvel in Enhanced Edition, and more skins including those of Iron Man and Spider-Man in the Legendary Edition. Another highlight of this week, PlayStation Studios managed to sell another 20 million units of PS5 worldwide, but the prices of the console also hiked due to the availability issues. The issue was addressed by Veronica Rogers, the head of global sale and business operations at Sony Interactive Entertainment. She thanked the fans for the support and promised a significant ramp up in PlayStation 5 production. Diablo Immortal has been gaining a lot of attention since its release, and players had mixed opinions regarding the game. A lot of fans complained about the game being pay to win. The unsatisfied fans gave Diablo Immortal the review bombing treatment, and it currently stands at 0.5 user score on Metacritic. The game had a lot of potential with amazing aesthetics and gameplay. However, the poor rewarding system had apparently disappointed many fans. The review bombing made Diablo Immortal the second worst user-rated game on Metacritic. The extremely grindy gameplay and costly microtransactions have left the players in bad taste. In addition, players were also facing a lot of errors and the game was not working properly in mobile devices. It seems that Blizzard Entertainment would need to step up their game to turn the situation around. With handheld consoles back in the game again, many game developers have decided to join in on the fun and bring some top-notch games for these consoles. Valve was one of them, and they entered the gaming industry with Steam Deck that got released this February. It seems that Aperture became the most played game on the Steam Deck for the month of May. The game is a spin-off of the Half-Life series, but players are stuck to a desk job. It seems that the purpose of the game was to teach players the controls of the Steam Deck, and this may be a factor for the massive popularity of the game. Call of Duty Warzone has gained massive popularity since its release. This addicting battle royale has been talk of the town ever since Activision confirmed its development in early March. Well, good news for the Call of Duty fans, they were able to see what Warzone is packed with thanks to some leaked screenshots by a Twitter user called Call of Duty Perseus. The game looks promising enough and hints a remarkably unique Call of Duty experience. Fans are definitely in for a treat. Speaking of Xbox, in another news, it's revealed that the new Xbox exclusive, Avowed, will feature guns. The Skyrim-like RPG from Obsidian Games got its latest reveal at Xbox Games Showcase last year, and has been hyped ever since. An industry insider, blessed Jez Corden, said that Avowed will feature games in form of muskets.
Hey, dude with a bow and arrow shooting, magical arrows and stuff. Yeah,
guns too,
right? Super Skyrim. Yeah, guns as well.
Wait, what? Well, guns are in the Pillars universe.
Oh, that's I never
like
played
muskets. Yeah, muskets.
School muskets. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so like not like, you know, machine guns or anything.
Yeah,
but like
so I
those
was
sort of-
thinking, I was like, wait, why is anyone using a bow and arrow at this point?
They are slow recharging guns from the 17th century, and the game being set in the Pillars of Eternity timeline just makes sense now. While the muskets aren't that great in combat and players would be relying on the magic powers and sword action most of the time, these 17th century guns might help you in ranged combat, but we will have to wait till the game is released to see if it's true or not. Whatever the final version may be, we can't wait to enjoy Avowed. If you are an avid fan of the iconic House of the Dead franchise, it's time to pick up your controller as the game recently adds a new move support for PlayStation. House of the Dead captured attention of many players due to its alluring gameplay that required to take down various zombies. In a recent update, the game unexpectedly added the motion sensor move support to the PlayStation 4. Players can now engage in combat using their motion sensor controllers, providing an engaging experience. The House of the Dead remake was released recently in April 2022 for PlayStation 4, and this new update fueled the hype for many players. Microsoft files new trademark for Contraband. Exclusivity is essential for the modern times. Many companies like Sony and PlayStation have fixed their own rights to exclusive content, and Microsoft is not about to step back. In a new filing, it seems that Microsoft decided to trademark Contraband. The application was filed back then in June 6, 2022, and now this is official. When the reveal trailer for Contraband was shown back then, it was unclear if the IP shown belonged to Microsoft. However, with this recent filing, there remains no shadow of doubt, and Microsoft is stepping up its game in acquiring exclusive games. Contraband is going to be an open world adventure game taking the players to the region of Bayan, where players would take on the role of smugglers. While little information is provided about the game, the fans keep anticipating for more. If you haven't heard about Fortnite by now, it's time to get out of that cave of yours. Fortnite is an online shooting game that got immense popularity, and the new updates keeps the game lively. Currently, Epic Games is working to develop the single player mode for Fortnite. This information was reported by an accredited industry insider. Fans were previously using the first person mode through mods and glitches in the game. However, if Epic Games would develop a single player mode, a lot of players would get saved from the trouble of installing mods and risking a ban. Though players did express their concerns considering the first person camera mode, according to them, players would get an unfair advantage over the players using third-person camera. Still, a lot of players are looking forward to this first-person camera mode. Microsoft is certainly tapping into the gaming industry a lot, and it seems like a new game was possibly leaked through a Twitter account. Recently, the company made a new account on Twitter for an upcoming game. The account also features a Microsoft Azure link in the description. The username for this account is @legends_game. The account is private and has 0 followers. However, it is expected that new information regarding this secret Legends game might be revealed soon. To bring you a painful news, ex-CEO of Sony's digital network dies at the age of 84. Sony has contributed significantly to technology in this modern era of technological advancement. Behind every successful company is a dedicated businessman, and Nobuyuki Ibe was no different. Nobuyuki contributed significantly to gaming, music, and movies, and was responsible for Sony's evolution and success. Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno said that Nobuyuki laid foundations for the amazing broadband network in Japan. It is unfortunate that Nobuyuki left this world in a hospital bed due to liver failure. To share another disappointing news, players would no longer be able to download extras for Electronic Arts titles through Origin after 13th June. A lot of players love collecting extras including soundtracks for the game, and it's a bummer that they are getting removed. Though all is not lost, as players can download the soundtracks directly from the Electronic Arts website to their devices. Electronic Arts also seems to be removing FIFA 20 from EA Play. The FIFA franchise is one of the most popular sports games franchises across the globe, with more than 20 games releasing. Players could get the FIFA games for free from EA Play, though FIFA 20 would no longer be available on EA Play from July 1st, 2022. However, players may get access to FIFA 2022 on EA Play, as the company always removed a 2-year-old FIFA game before adding a new game to the EA list. However, no date has been provided regarding the release of FIFA 2022. It seems that No Man's Sky and Resident Evil are coming to Mac OS through Metal 3. Mac OS Ventura is the latest addition to Apple's Gear, and it improves the user experience on Mac devices significantly by adding more tools. Apple also introduced a new state-of-the-art operating system that runs games magnificently. The Metal 3 software allows many games to run impressively on the Mac devices. It allows rendering of complex scenes easily and provides high-quality textures and geometry. For a long time, Mac was considered incompatible for gaming. However, it seems that might now be changing. Fable 4 has been long awaited by fans to get released. The teaser trailer launched in 2020 looked awesome and the gameplay looked better than Fable 3 at the least. But that was pretty much it, as no latest updates were released about the game again, and the concern was shown by one of the XNC podcast hosts, Jez, that claimed that game developers are having some trouble with Forza Tech, hence the delay in its release.
It was running on Forza Tech engine. I think it's still running on Forza Tech engine, and they had a big, there was previously a 200 or 240 man team. Now they're like 400 or something. One of the main issues was that they didn't have the expertise in the open world gameplay with different mechanics.
This led fans to think that the game might get cancelled. However, in a recent episode of the Xbox 2 podcast, Jez Corden assured the fans that Fable's development is going just fine, as he was on the table's gameplay showcasing on February 4th.
It's funny because I was in a gameplay preview this week where the developer was literally talking about how the game kept getting delayed because they couldn't stop adding features, where you just keep adding features, and it means your game keeps getting delayed, and so when scoping isn't necessarily a bad thing.
So we will be seeing Fable 4 very soon, and the game would have a lot more features up its sleeves in comparison with its predecessor for sure. The Xbox Showcase is one of the most anticipated upcoming gaming events, though it seems that Fable 4 and Perfect Dark would not be a part of the showcase, according to an accredited industry insider, Jeff Grubbs.
Let's start with Xbox. The two big games that I'm almost positive they're not going to be there, and that's Perfect Dark and Fable. I've been able to track that down. At least neither of those games are ready.
It was expected that these two titles would be unveiled at the event. However, it seems that these titles are not ready to be showcased in the mega event. Fable 4 was announced back then in 2020 and it's still in development. The delays were expected due to the pandemic and fans are taking it well, considering them inevitable. Aside from these two games, Jeff Grubb claimed that a few games like Minecraft RTS and GoldenEye 007 would definitely make an appearance. An industry insider, Jeff Grubb, suggested that Battlefield 2042 is down to a skeleton crew. Battlefield 2042 has been an unsuccessful game since its release, and it largely seemed underdeveloped. The large number of bugs significantly reduced the number of players and the hype the game was supposed to get. While the game was fixed with a few updates, the game seems largely abandoned, and the state of the team working on Battlefield 2042 is skeletal. It is expected that this title would now be dropped and a new Battlefield game would be developed to reduce damage to the franchise. Well, that's it for this week's weekly news broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Until then, ciao.